Beautiful. It's really wonderful to see a lot of people come together to share our yoga core practice. And even though we are in separate locations, this is the best way that we know how to bring us all together. So that's a really cool thing. A couple more people.
Can you turn the music off?
No, you want me to? Yeah. Okay. I think everyone has connected up and is dialed in. So, welcome, my beautiful people, to yoga core practice for our happy Sunday morning. My name is Heather, and I'm going to guide you through a fairly decent flow of core, and it's mostly going to be a practice that's going to rock your core. So, I always take my socks off at the last minute because I like my warm feet. A couple of things before we get started, just to reiterate, if you wanted to have a pillow handy, that's all you're going to need as far as your props goes. But if you don't have a pillow nearby, no worry. If you have a yoga mat, you can roll up your yoga mats. And also bring onto your yoga mat a positive attitude, sense of exploration, discovery, and we will be going over some education. Before we get started, I just wanted to make an announcement for our timing. I imagine that for the month of May, we're still going to be here joining and collaborating together as a tribe. So why don't we shift it because of the warm weather? Let's shift the time up to 9 a.m. instead of 10. And that way we can get out and enjoy the warmer weather that is just around the corner. So I am hoping and praying that everyone is okay with a 9 a.m. start, and that will begin Thursday of this coming week. And it'll be Thursdays and Thursdays and Sundays at 9 a.m. instead of 10. So hopefully everyone's okay with that. There's also some concerns with music, if you wanted to incorporate some music. The only way I would be able to do that would be to invite yourselves to have your own music to the side. So I use Spotify myself personally. I have a playlist that they have devised, and it's actually called Happy Days. So it's Happy Sunday. So I usually play that. It's a little bit upbeat. But whatever you would like to play in your home, as long as you can hear me and enjoy the music in the background, by all means. So what we're going to do today, we're going to start with a little bit of education. So everyone should be standing. Because we are focusing on core, I want to revisit the spine to make little adjustments so that you become aware, not only on your mat, but in your everyday world, regardless of what you're doing. I'm going to stand to the side. So hopefully you can see fairly well and follow along with some of the cues. So if I'm standing to the side, I roll my shoulders back. Would you say, hopefully you can see, that I'm standing tall and I have a good posture? And if you said yes, you're wrong, sorry. A good posture is actually if I roll my shoulders back and I lift up through my chest a little bit more, I engage a little bit more in my muscles, tuck my chin back, now I'm stronger and longer. So I want everyone to landmark their pelvis, because your pelvis is like the center of your posture. A lot of people do a lot of sitting, cycling, runners, and I know there's a few of you out there, what happens with your hip flexors? If you are overusing them, they naturally become shorter. So if my pelvis, so I want you to landmark with your thumbs and take your index fingers close to your thighs. And if I shorten these muscles, my pelvis tips down. So my pelvis bones are now tipping down. When I'm in this position with my spine, my glutes are not firing. My belly muscles are not able to contract, right? So we are working today on our glutes. So what happens is you squeeze your glutes, you open up your hips, and even notice my knees. We are all so connected. So it's important to understand your linked system. So from your ribs to your hips, there's space as well. So if I have weak shoulders, and again, we will be working shoulders a little bit today, I'll round out. My shoulders will scoop forward. And then I'll have a little bit of a rounded back. What happens when my back is rounded? This becomes a little bit concave. My lungs are compressed. My core is like, okay, you're squeezing me. I can't function. I can't fire. But if I lengthen between my hip and my bottom of my rib, I'm able to lengthen, open up this space. And when that happens, I'm able to fire up my core muscles and keep everything connected. So if we do roll out just a wee bit, this will happen over time, and then you get a rounded through the spine, and this is what we call being kyphotic, so you're rounded. Not good at all. We will be working the back, so you're able to hike up those shoulders and set them back. I want a big space between your rib and your bottom of your hip and your rib. Your ribs in front here, they bow out. Imagine headlights along each and every rib, and all of those headlights have to be straight ahead. Hopefully that makes good sense, so that we create length. Every single time that you're doing walking, any activity throughout your day, we get distracted sometimes. We go to our phone, and what happens? We slouch. This compresses in, and then this happens. Right? Not pretty. So we want to lengthen and correct that so we're long and tall. Be mindful of that. We're going to bring our hands to heart space. I want you to work from your feet, your basement, up to the crown of your head. Nice and tall. Good. Give me a couple of breaths. Revisit, reacquaint yourself with your spine. Align your pelvis. Have your ribs pointing straight out. Good. Take a deep breath. Fill the belly, but also fill your ribs so that your ribs start to expand. So it is important, although we did do a lot of movement there, it is important to revisit so that you have good alignment. If you have good alignment, your core will become more efficient. You will have quality core work today just by having a better alignment. One more thing I want to address, which is why I have my chair next to me. I find that the back of the chairs are there for simply decoration. The next time you sit in a chair, right, I want you to sit on the edge of the chair and sit up tall. Sitting back allows me to, what I call slouch. Round out, everything falls over. So, if you're at work, if you're sitting at your computer, even at the dinner table, try to sit up nice and tall, and again, even seated, the bottom rib and the top of your hip create that space. Tuck your tummy in nice and tight, tall and strong. Roll the shoulders back. It may feel weird or strange at the beginning, but if you do it, muscle memory will click in, and it will feel more natural for you down the road. Okay, a lot of information at the beginning, but please do keep that in mind. We're going to come down onto the floor. So join me. We're going to start by working in a bridge position. Okay? So let's just scooch your heels close in to start. Try to focus on those hips. Hips should be facing the ceiling. And then you start to roll your pelvis towards you. So see, there's movement there in the pelvis. Strong glutes. What makes the muscles contract and the bones move is the muscles. So you use your muscles to move the bones. So strong muscles, strong movement. Take those hip bones up to the sky, right? Good. Open up your hip flexors and feel beautiful. Take your hands above your head. Nice, long, beautiful stretch. Chin closer to your chest. And then circle the arms out. And then circle the arms up, inhaling, and then exhaling. Good. One more time, inhale, and then exhale down. Good. And just reset your spine down, one vertebrae at a time. The last thing to hit the floor is your tailbone. We're going to come up a little bit higher. We're going to roll one shoulder under, then the other. And if it's available to you, interlace your hands. If not, just try to connect them. This time, you're going to come up much higher. We're opening up through the shoulder girdle. And I kind of wiggle around to make sure that I have beautiful space in between my collarbones. They're sliding really wide. Engage into my heels. My toes really are floating. Here I am, nice and tall. One more breath. Exhale. Unroll the shoulders. Revisit the spine. One more down at a time. Again, firing through that posterior chain. Glutes are active. Let's take our heels out just a smidgen more, not a lot. Nail your heels into the floor. Again, pelvic tilt. Take that spine, just unglue it one at a time, increasing length between each and every vertebrae as you pick up. Now, just take a look down. Are your thighs in line with your hips? There's a tendency to splay the legs out. We don't want that. We want them in line. Imagine you're hanging on to a yoga block or something. You're squeezing something in between those legs. Now, if this is your awesome place, your happy place, stay right here. If not, we're going to lift up a knee, stack the knee over hip, and then set it right back down where I left it. So that's your home. You're going to lift, just stack. What I don't like to see is the knee coming into the chest. Not necessary. Stack bones, active feet. My hands are up. Good. So just sort of marching the knees up and then down. Up and then down. So a lot of activity in through your posterior chain, for instance. Lifting up. Don't lose the height when the leg is going down. Let's go 4 more of these. You should feel some beautiful, spicy heat and energy into that posterior part of that body. Yes. Good. Holding the hips up high, reset them up, and then just gently, gently follow that chain all the way down, tailbone, tailbone, hips. And we're not quite done. We need to go out a little further. We're going to target the hamstrings, but not with him. And then up comes your hips, not as high. So this will really grab tight into your hamstrings. Looks like everybody wants to work on their core today, even people. So in this position, I can add a little bit of heat to this. What I want you to do is dig your heels in and try to pull your heels towards your hips with your hips elevated. So you're engaging your heels into the floor, right? Oh, you should really feel this. Like it should be, if you don't want to, you don't have to. If you're already feeling it, that's fine. And then surrender down. We're going to do that one more time. So grab a breath, inhale, exhale, engage your heels. My toes are floating. Good. We set our hips first. Now with your heels, dig them down into the floor and kind of pull them as if you're trying to pull yourself towards your heels. Really feel that. It's like an isometric contraction for those hamstrings. Yes? And then surrender back down. Awesome. Let's take that one leg up, stretch it out. The other leg can go straight. My right leg that's up, I want it to be perpendicular to the floor. Open up the back of the knee. And then now give me a slight bend and pull that in a little further. Notice the different sensations. Yoga is a lot about mindfulness of how your body reacts and awareness and observing your body. Let's switch. And again, if you're tight with hamstrings, there's no worry to keep that leg bent, no pressure, no judgment. Fire open the back of the leg so it's long and strong, perpendicular. I dial my toe down and then I relax it because there's a big difference. Put a little bend in the knee, pulling that thigh bone, shin bone towards the wall. One more breath. Good. Let's bend the knees now. They're a comfortable distance. They're not too tight in, but they're a comfortable distance. We're going to lift up the right leg and we're going to cross it over into our figure four. Try to take that leg out away from you. Feel that stretch. Now we're going to lift up the hips and then drop it down. Good. Inhale, exhale, push into the floor. Hips are high. Try to get the hips parallel to the ceiling. And then slowly on the way down, as soon as your tailbone just barely starts to touch, fire it back up. Good. Two more. Good. I like to hold this leg down so I get a nice openness into the front body. One more time. And then we get to switch. Good. Hook the ankle over top, push in, and again, opening up through the hips. And then sink back down. Inhale. Good. So usually, people are tighter on one side. I can tell you, I'm a little tighter on this side. My leg doesn't go open as much on my left leg as my right. But that's me, and I honor that, I accept it, I'm okay. It's just who I am, and I work with what I have. Good. Two more of these, use your breath. Good. And then last one. Perfect. Settle back down. We're gonna grab both knees right here. Give yourself a hug, nose to knee now, really round out the spine. You can rock a little bit side to side. Good. We're going to come into a little bit of core, so upper core. Don't worry too much about your legs. You can support your head. I want the elbows out to the side. We're going to take our crunch up towards the sky. Think of your shoulder blades because your body is 3D. It's not all about the front. I want you to lift the back of your body up. Now, when I'm cueing, I try to deliver different cues so that you'll sort of click in to proper techniques. I don't like to say too much to lift because then your chin will ignite the move. So I want you to keep your nose, chin, chest in alignment. Try to avoid sticking your chin out. That's what really tires out your neck sometimes. Good. When you come up, you peel your blades off, you exhale. Inhale to melt down. Exhale. Imagine back in the day, there used to be Velcro quite a bit. You're going to Velcro your shoulder blades off the floor, slowly control. Good. And often, when you do things on a little bit slower pace, all the muscles can come out and play. Good, we're gonna do two more. And then it's gonna get a little bit more intense. One more. Keep the elbows out to the side, come up to your mat. We're gonna hold this. So, what I want you to do, while we're holding this for 30 seconds, think about your pelvis. Believe me, the 30 seconds will go by faster. Are you tipped up? Are you squeezing the glutes? I want you to roll your pelvis down. Take your tailbone down to the floor. This, your hip bones should be flat and parallel to the ceiling, not rolled under. Don't scoop that tailbone under. Okay? Let's go for 10 more seconds here. You should feel very good heat and energy in through your upper part of the core. Oh yes. 3, 2, 1, and then surrender back down. Take a breathe, hopefully. We're going to stretch out our body now, long, 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 and our banana curve. So we go to one side, and we do this frequently, where we cross our ankles, if it's available to us. Over to one side, tip your chin down. Well deserved. And then let's make our way over to the other side. Making sure that hip is solid. Perfect. And then coming back to the middle. Taking your knees, stack your knees over top of your hips. Imagine you're hanging onto a ball or a yoga block. We're going to go over to the side and we're going to peel off just on one side. We're going to hold this in this position. Then my right leg, my opposite away from my hand, is going to be up into the sky. And I'm going to carve my heel down towards the floor and then bend in and then up. Carve that heel, cover my heel, bend, lift up. So my arms and shoulders remain the same. Isometrically holding my obliques. Stand up and then carve that heel down. Beautiful. Are we breathing? Inhale. Exhale, carve down. Let's go 2 more. Now, if your neck gets a little bit sore, there's no harm in supporting that neck. Good. One last one. Up, carve down. Beautiful. Let's roll over to the other side. So again, have your shoulder distance apart with your palms over one side. And then lift. So my left palm is just on the outside of my right shin. Left leg goes up, carving down. My eye gaze is in between the space that I created with my palms. My leg is active. You can eliminate the legs just as an alternative. Good. So again, isometrically holding on to the obliques. Nice. Inhale. Exhale, carve down. Active toe. So fire your toe up to the sky and then keep it ignited. Good. 2 more of these. Hang on to it. You got it. Strong, strong, strong. One last one. Beautiful. Give those legs a hug. Good. Rocking side to side. Beautiful. Let's take now our feet together. Let the legs fall outwardly. So this is a diamond. We're going to do a bridge with a diamond. So we're back to the bridge, opening up, giving our core a wee bit of a break, and just focusing on the back body and then back down. So you're probably discovering now and understanding, realizing that your core is just not one little section, 6-pack here in the front, and then drop down. Your core, shoulders, hips, front and back, all attribute to having a strong core. And having a strong core will be very effective on everything and anything that you do. If you have a strong core, your arms and legs will follow suit. 2 more of these. Inhale, exhale, push, hips are high, and then one last time, squeeze. Okay, get a nice little inner thigh stretch too. Let's bring the legs together. I'm going to take my right leg up, cross it over, and then I'm going to roll my legs to the left. So my right leg went up and over, and then I roll to that side. We're coming into a spinal twist. Now from here, I want to look up towards the ceiling, same kind of thing. Earlier, when we were reviewing our core, your bottom rib and top hip were long. Well, we're going to compress those. So now we're going to lift up and then surrender down. And again, try to go up towards the sky, keeping your chin in line with your chest. I think people like to lift up and then they want to go so high, they're trying so hard that their chin starts to leave the exercise. But it's more of the back body. So stay focused on the back of your body rather than the head lifting up too much. Okay, so we're going to do 4 more on this side. So think of the bottom rib compressing and cinching towards this top hip. Exhale, inhale, breath movement all the time. Perfect. So let's meet into the center, come back to the middle, unplug. reset. My left leg now goes up. I cross it over my right knee. I go to the right with both legs. We're doing that same action. Supporting your head, lifting up, and then down. Again, chin connects. So the back of my neck connect to my spine is all in one. So my cervical spine does not go ahead of the rest of my spine. I keep in alignment. How high I come up, it's not a competition. If you come up higher, it doesn't mean you're working harder. What it is how compressed you are and that you're using your breath when you come up. Inhale, exhale. Awesome work. Breathing, a little pause at the top, but don't hold your breath at the top. Inhale, exhale. Nice. We have 4 more of these on the side. Awakening through the obliques. Now with the front of the core back, so we've done quite a bit of warming up for sure into the core. Last one. Nice. Roll to the center. Let's have those legs a little bit. We're going to windshield wash. One knee in and then the other. So melt the knee in towards the midline and then the other side. And just let the inner thigh go. Hip hikes up. Nice. Okay. Let's bring our hands behind our hamstrings. Tuck our chin in. This rocking of the spine is so good for it. Take your heels in towards you and then come up to your seated position. Coming on to all fours, cat-cat, which I do quite frequently because it's so beautiful for your spine and your core. Push into the earth, splay your shoulder blades apart, and then as we arc through, you're going to pull your heart through those strong arms you have, and then push into the floor. Scoot the tailbone under, chin to chest, and then undulate that spine as you use your breath. Exhale, scoot it up. Inhale as you lengthen parts of the spine. There's one more, and then we're going to come into a neutral spine. From here, tuck your toes under. Give me a little bit of space underneath of your knees. Now it looks like I'm just on all fours, but my knees are hovered and then I take them just above. And if I take my legs back a little bit away so that they're not underneath, it's a little more challenging. Flat spine. So keep looking down to the floor and breathe. Nice. So this is warming up a little bit through the shoulders. One more breath. And then surrender down. We take that right leg up out in front. So now we're into a little bit of a long lunge. Reaching, lengthening, then come forward. Good. Take that right leg back. We're going to do the same to the other side. We're not here long. Lifting up, reaching forward. This time I'm going to take that back foot, connect together. Halfway lift up, flat back. Round out the spine. Root and rise up. Give me some beautiful energy up. I know you can't really see me right now, but it's going to be just in just a second. Perfect. All right. So we're going to come into a little bit of a flow. Warrior one to start. So hips, shoulders squared off. I'm going to take my right leg back. Heels are in line. Now in this practice, I'm not going to be too much into a regular flow per se because it's mostly core incorporated. We're going to go warrior 1, 2, and 3. Learn them and then create a flow on one side and then the other. So lean forward enough so that your knees are in line. So if I go to a side view, the outside of my heel and baby toe are really connected to the earth. My hips are squared off. And I'm going to lean towards my left leg. So I'm leaning towards that leg that's in front, coming back, and then I scissor towards that leg. Got it? Good. From here, Lift off the back foot, come into your tree pose. So this is our tree. Okay, so we're gonna do that 2 more times. Come into your warrior 1. Lean towards the leg. Reset back to center. Scissor the arms. Ready, tree. Bring your hands together. Nice. Again, step back, connect, lean, open up scissors. Beautiful. Tree. Now this time, let's go back into warrior 2. So that means a much longer stance. So I have to push up a little bit longer. And then here's your warrior 2. And then from here, you're going to come up into the left leg a lot. Now if this is all we get for your balance, so I'm going to come into dancer. I flip my thumb, push back, warrior 2. Come forward, you can tippy toe, dancer, and then set back. So you may notice you're hopefully a little bit better with balance because you've ignited that core. Here we go, up, and then dancer. So that's your pose and your balance. Stepping back into your warrior. From here, we're going to straighten out the front leg, and we reach. We're coming into triangle. So the triangle pose is when I take my fingers. You don't have to get all the way down, right? You want to revolve open through your rib cage. Look up to the fingers that are in the air, challenge. Look back down towards the left foot, spiral around, square your shoulders off to that foot in front. Take your back foot with you, press into your right ball of your foot, bend the knee, push up into airplane. Good. Step back, triangle. There we go. Tipping, use your core to get length. Opening up, look up to the right hand. Aeroplane the arms. Take your collarbones, smile them towards the floor. Take your back toe with you, bend and push off. And again, if you don't have to push off, if you're not comfortable, then stay in your happy place. And we'll do that 1 more time. Triangle. Good. Reaching to get the hip out of the way a little bit. Open up, spiral your rib cage around, stack shoulder blades, look up. Airplane. Take the back foot with you, push off that back foot, and fly. Good. Landing right here. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold, round out. Halfway lift. Down we go. We're going to do the same now to the other side. So taking that left foot back, warrior 1. Okay? Remember what we did, right? So now I'm leaning towards my right side. Back up. Then I come into splitting my arms, so scissor my arms. Back to center, and then tree. Okay, and then coming back, warrior 1, scissor, coming back, tree. Nice. Last time. Scissor, coming up, and then tree. And then we're going to go into warrior 2. So now we're going to go all the way back into my warrior 2. Okay? Come forward, and then flip my thumb, dancer pose. And then go back into my warrior. Thumbs up, pushing, up, dancer. Good, 1 more time. Warrior, shifting up. Beautiful. And we're gonna land it from here. Straighten out that front leg. Reach, which will get the hip out of the way. And just use your core to drape over top of the thigh. Look up. If it's hard to look up, just keep your gaze down. Lots of options. Take my shoulders, fly open. I take my back heel with me. Bend in, lift off if you can. Good. Here we are, back we go. So reach, straighten out that leg. Breathing, inhale. Good. Airplane, take the back foot with you. Lift off. Long spine and neck. Load back. Straighten out the leg. This is our last one. Get the hip out of the way. And use your core to spiral around slow. Look to that right toe. Back foot comes with you. Lift off. Beautiful. Bring your feet together. Inhale up. Exhale, forward folds. Enjoy it. Let the head hang. Come up halfway, hike your shoulders, and then back down. We're going to find the floor, coming onto our floors. We're going to work a little bit of our chest. So we're going to come into a low plank. So onto our elbows, and then toes come back. This is your low plank. I don't want to see your hands clasped together. I would love to see your fingers in line with your elbows. We're going to engage our elbows into the floor. So try to pull your elbows towards your toes in towards your elbows. Makes it a lot more challenging. Breathing all the time. Try not to hold your breath. Stick with this. 3, 2, and 1. Dropping to the knees. So dropping to the knees is an option as well at any time that you do a plank. As long as you bring your best assets with you. Many people will drop and then they'll get their assets too high up. Okay, so coming up, working on our shoulders. I would recommend you come into a modified position just because of what we're going to be doing. Stack your bones underneath the shoulders. So I don't want to see your hands out too far. This next exercise is going to be a combination. So keep those elbows in, and you're going to brush your elbows against your ribs as you hover. And then push up. We're going to come back down into our low plank. Down we go. Now walk up, 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 push up. Keep your elbows tucked in tight. Now push the floor away. Think of pushing the floor away because you want the floor to get away from you. Okay? And then we come down into our forearms. Back up. Want you to be mindful of hips. If you find your hips, what I call hula hoop hips, widen your base so your knees come a little wider. And then we go down, down, up, up. Give me that push up. Push the floor away. Good. Forearms up. Now we've been leading with the same arm all the time. Let's try now the other arm. So down, down, up, up now. And then I do my push-up. Guide my body. Nose, chin, chest in alignments. Down, down, up, up. Guide your heart slowly towards the earth. Push the floor away. Beautiful. Exhale. Elbows down, forearms down, come back up. Grab your breath, exhale slowly with control. If you need to take a break, by all means do so. Push, exhale, exhale. We're going to do 2 more. Forearm. Good. Slowly, lower. Notice I'm not leading with my chin. My ears are in line with my shoulders. And I push and exhale at the same time. This is your last one. Up, up, and then guide yourself slow. See, the tempos are slow, 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 and then push. Let's do our child's pose, well developed. Into our whole system. Rest your forehead onto the floor. Tailbone sinks towards your heels. Good. Keep breathing. Walk your hands over to one side. Good, and then walk over to the other side. Beautiful. We're not quite done with that low plank just yet. Coming into the center, we're going to come back into the low plank. You can choose if you want to go knees or not. So here we are into our low plank. I'm going to hover up onto my toes. If you feel the urge at any time, go to knees.
I'm going to take my left elbow out to the side and then alternate. Other side. So my elbow's in line with my torso. Then it connects to the floor. It'll be harder if you try to take your fingers together. So that's why I encourage fingers in line with elbows. If you're doing those cool hips, get your feet wider or go to knees. Good. Are you breathing? Hopefully. Right? All right. 4 more. You got it. Be strong. Be strong. 1 more each side. Oh, yeah. Let's take it right down onto the floor. Bending and allow those legs just to windshield wash one side and then the other. Nice. Okay. Now we've done the plank. We do a side plank. And anytime you do a core class, chances are you're going to do planks because the planks are so effective. I'm onto my elbow, making sure my bones stack. Take my front foot in front of my knee. I would recommend that you do this, even though if you're a good side planker. Okay, and again, just because of what we're going to be doing. So I stack shoulder blades. Now with my upper hand here, I'm going to scoop and reach towards you and then wrap around. As I'm opening, I try and push and lift my hips up a little bit. Nose, chin, chest in alignment. Reach and scoop, and then open up. My eyes can now connect to my hands. Scoop around, and then open up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, open, and then exhale, scoop around. Good, we'll do 4 more on the side. Nice. My fingertips just brush along the floor and I reach all the way through. I'm always constantly reaching with my fingertips. Nice work. Let's go 1 more. Surrender that hip down. Good. We're just going to swivel around to the other side. Again, elbows are stacked right underneath of the shoulder. I take my top leg, make sure I come forward so that my hips are totally stacked. I use my foot to hike up. Good. Strong and long. Nose, chin, chest. So setup is key. Reach towards me. Reach, reach, reach. And then your fingertips tickle the floor. And then come back up. Inhale. Exhale, wrap around. And lifting up. Stacking shoulder blades. Wrapping around. And then up. Down we go, good. And then reach. Is one side a little stronger maybe than the other? Good, we're reaching. All right, we're going for 4 more. You good for them? Make sure you're connecting your breath. And then inhale up. Good. Last one. Perfect. And then settle now that hip bone back. Good. Coming into the in a seated position. Stay to the side here. Going to come up into a reverse tabletop. And then back down. So your fingers are facing either to the side or to your feet. So just a nice little breathe. Your neck is in line. Chin, chest. So we never want to see our head go all the way back. Again, very good for that posterior chain. Get them up high and then back down. 2 more. Good. And last one, it barely taps. And then we come back up. Awesome. Okay. From here, we're going to come into a high plank. This is our last plank of your practice for today. We still have a couple of more things, but we're going to add a little bit of options. So choose wisely. For your high plank again, your feet can be hip distance apart. Closer together is more challenging. And invite energy from the floor. So I'm not collapsing in and my pelvis is not close. My pelvis is slightly lower than my shoulders. If it's challenging, try a wider base. So we're going to hold this plank, or you can come and play. You can take your thumb up to side, bicep to side here, and can you lift the opposite foot off? Ooh, this is a very challenging one, but we always save the best to last. So push into your hand and your foot, switch. My left thumb reaches for the sky, my right foot hovers. Focus. And then down, let's try one more each side, okay? Sometimes if you do it another time, it'll come to you. Thumb comes up. Nice. And it's important to really engage into the supporting hand. Hover, lift. Nice, well done. Let's celebrate with child's pose. I'm gonna do a couple of stretches. Sinking down. Make sure you take some deep breaths here. Your head rests on the floor. Walk your fingertips out a wee bit away from you so you feel the lats stretching. All right, and then reset. So this is where I want you to grab your pillow. So have your pillow at the front. Or if you don't have a pillow, no worries, roll up your mat. But my right knee is going to go on my pillow. I'm going to take my left foot, swoop it around. I wiggle my toes. My knee is stacked. I take it out to the side. Okay, so my leg is on a 45. I slightly lean forward. My right arm goes up, and then I lean. So you should feel a beautiful stretch in through your hip flexor. Your psoas is being stretched. Your psoas is a very powerful muscle. It connects your upper and lower body together. So if we have a tight psoas, sounds like I'm swearing, doesn't it? If we have a tight psoas, you're going to have a shuffle, and that's what we don't want. Take your left hand now on the inside of the knee, now that we're getting a little bit warmer. Feel that delicious stretch. If you want to just roll on the outer edge of the foot, I'll leave that to you. So we want to be in our 80s, 90s, and then some, walking with a good gaze. So the psoas needs a little TLC every once in a while, needs to be acknowledged. Good, one more breath. Coming forward now, heel toe it back, lifting up very tall. Reach towards me, straddle the foot. Hip hinge, peel your toe off. Try to open or yawn open the back of the leg. Let the head hang heavy. Think of dragging your heel into the floor so your toes are relaxed. Your heel drags a little bit towards you. Breathe into, you'll feel that right up into your hip. So breathe into the hip in through the openness of your hamstrings. Reset the weight into the left foot. Restack up. Good. We're going to switch legs now. So I take my knee on to either my pillow or my rolled up mat. I wiggle my toes out of the way so my bones are stacked. So just have a look. My knee should be stacked right over top of my ankle. Heel toe out a little bit so my thighs are on a 45. And reach up. Good. And then I laterally lean towards my right leg. When you're ready, you can actually put a little bit of pressure. So we're encouraging that leg to fall open a wee bit and then open up. And notice if I go to the side or if I reach a little bit further, this space is yours to discover. Okay, we're all different. So really open through this whole front of your pelvis and reach right through the fingertips. Yes, and get to know your psoas. Yes, because it's a beautiful thing, beautiful thing. So celebrate, start to celebrate your core muscles. You don't have to feel sore and stiff after every class, but if you do, you felt a little bit of love, you know something happened. You don't, that's okay too, because you did work hard today. So thank you, and thank yourself. Good. Coming back to center, slide that in. I'm gonna take my pillow away. I'm gonna do a seated twist. So coming into a seat, my legs extend out, taking my right knee, pull it in tight, cross it over. My right hand acts as a secondary spine, so I push, so lifts open, my arm reaches for the sky. Exhale, as I take my elbow, hook it, my thigh and leg connect firmly. And now as I exhale, I shine my heart open in between the space of my hand and my right shoulder. How straight can your spine be here? Look over that right shoulder. Unravel, shake it out. Do the same to the other side. Bend the left leg up. Cross it over. Now if you can't cross over, you can keep it beside the knee. We're going to take the left hand, push it into the floor as I lift open my heart and reach up to the sky. Exhale as I wrap around. My leg pushes into my elbow, elbow into leg. I create this little torque. So I'm open and I'm spiraling. Think of a candy cane, think of like a barber shop pole where you get that sensation of spiraling up. And if you vision that, you'll follow through. All right, so let's now gather into our Shavasana pose. Let's earn it. Legs out. Palms covered over top of your legs. And then we're going to do a pelvic tilt. Keep my chin tucked in. My eye gaze is down towards my thighs the whole time. And keep rolling your pelvis, tucking your pelvis under all of the time. That's the secret. The rounder your spine can become, the better. Squeeze the glutes as you get closer to the floor. Because you're going to squeeze, 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 and then relax and melt open. And here you are into your Shavasana pose. So it's time to become a little bit quiet. Connect to the breath. If you want to put your palm on your belly and the other one on your heart space, feel free to do so. Start to lengthen your breaths. Inhaling through your nose, fill your belly, and feel the belly rising and falling. Not changing, but simply acknowledging. And your eyelids rest on your face like soft little pillows. The back of your head starts to sink in towards the floor. And as you're inhaling, you feel lighter. And as you exhale, you begin to sink deeper in towards your mat. And know that the four corners of your mat is your place to visit anytime because it's safe, it's calm, it's serene, and it's yours. Your face is expressionless. Can you soften around your eyes, your nose, and your mouth a wee bit more? Even notice the sides of your cheeks as they drip towards the floor. Disconnect your teeth. Allow the jaw to drop. On your next breath, exhale all tension through your neck, the front and back. The next breath will soften your upper traps. Shoulder blades sink. And in your own mind's eye, just visualize your spine from the base of your skull down towards your tailbone. Every time you breathe, invite more space in between each and every vertebrae. Your hip bones are now heavy, your tailbone heavy. And there's like a wave of relaxation that begins to wash over you from head to toe. Just go with that rhythm of waves and breath. Invite oxygen to dissipate throughout your whole entire body, to massage it. Rejuvenating. Self-care. The muscles of your thigh bones begin to melt. Become mindful of the natural curves your fingers take, and your toes simply float. Now that your body is fully relaxed, the mind, the body, the spirit can connect as one. Be in stillness and be in quiet, and listen, observe. Invite in breaths of vitality and energy. Start to wiggle the fingers, wrists, and ankles very slowly and subtly. And just observe as your body is reawakening. And this calmness you have now cultivated, allow it to trickle through the remainder of your day. Find your balance of energy and calm. Take your hands above your head to a full body stretch, stretching from fingertips to your toes. And then grab hold of the knees and pull them into chest. A little ball of comfort. Maybe rock side to side, awakening your spine and your back muscles. And then when you're ready, join me in the seated position, hands at heart space. And when you arrive, just allow everything to settle. Your thumbs connect to sternum. Bow your head. Revisit your perfect posture. Set those shoulders back. Lengthen your spine. That space between the bottom rib and the top of your head is still there. Marinate in this. Take a deep breath in. As we honor our bodies, we honor each other, and this beautiful time is spent together. Namaste, everyone. Thank you for coming out and sharing. I hope you learned something about your core today. And don't forget, next week we will meet again, 9 a.m. on Thursday for our yoga movement. And let's just give ourselves a high five. Virtual high five, everybody. Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Heather, thank you.
Thanks, Heather. Namaste, Chico.
Namaste, monster.
He's here watching.
Nice.
Heather.
Thank you.
Thanks, Heather.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming out.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
I learned how weak my core was.
Not for much longer. Keep at it.
Oh my God.
It'll get better. Consistency is key.
Have a great day.
How much I missed you. Thanks again.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Heather. I know.
Welcome. Bye-bye.